Welcome back, all you kings, queens, and in-betweens, to another Should You Watch video in our Danmachi Universe series. We have officially caught up on all of the Danmachi that exists, and that is through season 4. I should say that we're just watching things. We haven't read any of the light novels or mangas or anything else that's out there, just the things that are on Crunchyroll and all other streaming services and things like that. What were your thoughts on season 4? Because we're going to start with the hyper negative, and then we'll move to the partially negative for me.
This was excruciatingly painful. I can't even say excruciatingly properly because I am in so much pain and agony after watching this season, which was very drawn out and in which very little happened when you really think about it. It's like season 1 was all plot, all character development, all awesome. Season 2, no dungeon for some reason that we cannot discern, and rushed plot. And then season 3 was all dungeon and all plot. And then season 4, they're like, we don't need any of that. Fighting in a dungeon, that's what you want, right? I mean, I do like fighting in a dungeon, Jer. I do, but I also want plot, and I didn't get any plot, and I didn't get any character development, really, and I was sad.
You got a lot of character development from some characters. You just didn't get the character development from the characters you wanted. You got a ton of character development for Ryuu. You got a ton of character development for the other members of the Hestia Familia and their general vicinity. You just didn't get anything from Hestia, Belle. Really, that's it. I guess those are really the only ones you didn't get a lot of development for. I don't think Belle changed a lot over this season.
I don't think any of them changed a lot over the season.
Ryuu definitely changed.
I don't know if she changed as much as simply got fleshed out, which is different.
I definitely think she changed. She started off her experience in this season as like I'm on a murderous rampage. So she definitely changed. She changed her outlook. She completely changed her view of her backstory. She's a drastically different character after the season.
She's still on a murderous rampage.
I think my biggest problem with this is I think it needed trimming. I think that they could have easily compressed a lot of the stuff that was taking place and not make it take so long to get to where we got to. I don't think we needed 24 episodes for this season.
22.
Whatever. 22, 24. Usually it's 24. It's kind of weird that it's 22. I think my biggest problem is you had a lot of the development for the through lines of the show, which is primarily Belle chasing after Eyes and the dynamic between Hestia and Belle, both put completely on hold because Hestia is barely in the season and Eyes is not in the season at all. So you get this story where it almost feels like a side story, even though it's mainline development for some members of the Familia and Ryuu specifically. So I'm kind of not really sure where this season sits. A lot of people seem to like this season, and I can understand why they might like it, but for me, what I want out of the series, I didn't really get much of what I wanted out of the series in this season. I wanted more progression between Belle and Hestia. I wanted more progression between Belle and Eyes, if that's going to be a thing that I'm stuck with. And I wanted more of the main plot. There's this whole thing with Freya that's been hanging over everybody's heads for the whole series up until now, which seems like it's going to be the main plot. And I thought by season 4, we would have gotten more development on the main plot.
No, don't you know they can't have a plot anymore? That's what they decided in season 4.
Honestly, I feel like we're spinning our tires a little bit, and that's the thing that's kind of frustrating me, because I would assume next season we're going to get more progression on like what's going on and this world and the dungeon and all this stuff on a grander scheme. But I keep thinking that season after season, and we keep not getting that. And I don't understand where this is going. I don't know how many books there are in the light novel series or where we're sitting in the light novel series, but I don't think I can spin my tires for another like 3, 4, 5 seasons to learn anything about what's going on. I definitely think most shows, by the time they're done with 4 seasons, we have an understanding of the world, and we have basically nothing here.
All you need to know is that they fight in a dungeon to make money. And some people don't, and they just make food that the people who fight in the dungeon use their money to buy because they're not good at anything other than fighting stuff in the dungeon. That's how the world works, Jeremy. It's not complicated, okay?
That's fine, but I want an understanding of why. There's all this promises of deep lore that has to do with the dungeon being created and the dungeon being essentially a living entity and the gods coming down and all of the stuff around Belle's parentage. Like, there's all this stuff that's there, and they're not touching on any of it, and I feel like they should be touching on it.
It's not important, Jeremy, don't you know?
Well, it's important to me. So should people watch season 4?
Oh, goodness, no. This was excruciating. I died died a little on the inside.
I think that if you are determined to figure out what's going on, you're going to have watched this season, probably. But I'm getting really close to giving up on Danmachi in general. As much as I liked season 1, I think it's been downhill ever since season 1. I really didn't enjoy Sword Oratorio. Whatever. I really didn't enjoy season 2. The movie was okay, but it was a typical anime movie that has no impact on the rest of the series. I liked season 3 a little bit better, and I wasn't a huge fan of season 4. We could have accomplished so much more with 22 episodes, considering this was a double length season, basically. So I'm really on the fence. You're saying no. I'm leaning towards no.
Those ovas, though. Some sexy bikinis in those ovas.
Yeah, suffer through all of this so you can watch the ovas. Or just watch them by themselves, honestly, because they don't care about plot. Something that we do care about, though, is this Should You Watch content here on the channel. Leave a like down below, and you can help save a channel today. In the arms of... Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about Danmachi. There's been some decent back and forth on our Danmachi videos, so I'd love to see more of that from the community. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content going forward, and ring that bell so you know what's up, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.